And, he may mention, yeah, I know I play that, and then sure enough, we see it here in this game. So I assume it's going to be a secondary support Pyromancer.
I can only assume so as well. Obviously, most likely the Suicide Kinesis and then Empath to follow up on that. But yeah, the Monkey King though, we haven't seen. I think we saw it last actually, the grand finals actually, and Mickey played a fantastic Monkey King because obviously it can work very very well in the middle lane, and then also has the late game potential that was a little bit lacking actually in game one, other than the Scout. But Hero worked quite well, but it just didn't really have the biggest of impact of what we expected it to have. To be fair. Hopefully we might see something different here from Zinc here in game number 2. Parasite already picked up. We've seen the strength of Parasite, let alone there's Lap's Parasite as well. So, Tree definitely have to be wary of that.
See Bans following up now. Moraxis, Revenant, Bubbles coming out so far. Taking away the Revenant here as Willowkeeper. Again, don't want to let Sync pick that up. They are known as a team that definitely runs the Revenant, and again, it's definitely an annoying hero to play against. Almost like the Vindicator status, just really annoying because you just never know what that invis and whatnot. So, Monkey King, though, again, most likely going to be in the hands of Mickey. Mickey plays a fantastic Monkey King, including the final game of the last cycle in the Grand Finals against BMG. Used the Monkey King to help lead them to victory in that play. So, of course, a hero with a lot of physical presence all throughout the game, especially early on, but even in the late game. We've seen, Mickey has shown us several times that in that late game stage, he is also a hero to reckon with when it comes to being a hard carry. So, you see the bands finishing out there. It was Moraxis, Revenant, Bubbles, Madman, Kraken, and Puppet Master to finish things off. And now the 4th pick going to be coming out here for Sync Esports. Putting some thought into this one. You look at what they have so far. They're going to go Magnus and a Snap Ravener pickup. Jeez.
Man, carry Ravener. Here it comes.
Yeah, I remember you mentioned that last time. It didn't work out too well. So
this game will work. I got a feeling.
We'll see. They did that last game, too, though, in the terms of just snap picking, man. It was the Valkyrie last game. They just picked it right away. And then Ravener is the same thing here. It's like they know, obviously, it's not going to be picked up by Sync, most likely, so...
So Fuza knows what he wants, man.
Apparently.
He gets what he wants. But there's the stat though from Ravenel, 0% win. So very not the strongest or the most friendliest of stat lines here for Tree. But to be fair, you can't really put Tree in terms of stats or in terms of a box. They do whatever they want. They play crazy, and there's a reason why we see some random picks up here. But it does work obviously. But we're 1-1 here between the two teams here in the grand finals, and you would be surprised to sort of see a carry Ravenor in the grand finals, but with Tree, it's becoming the norm now, I guess.
Yep, no, it's never be surprised. No, that just might be your initial reaction, and for good reason, but in the end, you really shouldn't be with Willowkeeper, especially. Even this being a final match, you get a lot of money on the line here. Ultimately, the $31,000 plus prize pool, but you see just for the first and second place teams, a good split right there. Basically, $2,500 difference that they're playing for on the line at this point. Dark Lady coming out for Sync. All right, so we're stressing Willowkeeper, not afraid to be different. Dark Lady, not your everyday carry nowadays.
I guess it can work. Obviously, Dark Lady not too bad in terms of running the solo lane itself. Most likely going to be in the short lane with obviously Glacius, Monkey King middle lane, Keizu, Suicide Magnus, and Parasite in the jungle. But the one thing to note though is actually, I think I mentioned it in the last series we casted, where Nullstone Gaming, they had quite a good draft on paper. But actually, if they do get behind, particularly in this lineup for Zinc, the only really way to get back into the game would be through the Parasite and Magnus. But Magnus is a suicide hero, obviously, so he won't be getting the portal key too quickly. Obviously, he can gank with Monkey King as well, but it's cutting the line thin. So if Tree to have a good start here in the laning phase, Zinc might be in a little bit of trouble, but they definitely have the late game secured with the Dark Lady and the Monkey King.
Yeah.
But still, obviously, Tree have a lot of early game aggression. They've picked up the Pyromancer, they've picked up the Kinesis.
Oh, yeah.
And they've always picked up the Ravenor as well. So a carry hero that can definitely get involved early on. So Zinc, they definitely have to be careful. But if there's one team that can be sort of careful and sort of disciplined, it is definitely Zinc.
Yeah. Now, I'm looking. I'm really wondering now if that's actually because of especially how the lineup was drafted by. I wonder if they're going to make Pyromancer even more of a farming hero, something like a secondary support. To go along with, say, the Ravener short lane or something like that, or even a Pyromancer short would be fun. But that could be an option, but they could also go with an option of that carry here. Definitely either just a farm carry, you got the 4 around him, or just an early aggressive carry
It'd be an
play against
initiate,
Sync.
most likely, 'cause I think they're going to run the carry. Oh, okay, so it's going to be a sand wraith, actually. So they're going carry v carry, man. There's
All right.
I think Monkey King and Ravenor have quite equal carry potential,
Well,
and then most likely with Dark Lady and Sand
the
Wraith.
thing I like about Sandwraith, though, they have Empath, remember. And you know, Empath with Sandwraith, it is a very deadly combo because she jumps inside, Sandwraith uses ulti, and goes elsewhere. So this is a scary... even though Sandwraith, yes, he's definitely considered more of a hard carry in the end, a late-game carry, but... we've seen, especially with the Energizer on him early on, he can be a very aggressive hero in the early game stage than what we used to expect out of him. I mean, he got changes to his Desert's Curse, I believe it was, and his Deserted, if I'm not mistaken, that allows him to be even more impactful in the earlier game. So, but yeah, as the stat line shows right there, we have not seen Sandwraith played in a long time, and since Season 2, at least, upon tour. So, well... Wait, oh, I apologize, guys. I had it on the prize money screen. Anyways, there you go. It was a Sandwraith pick. See, now you actually see. Yeah, you actually see right there. Yeah, surprise! You could hear it. You could hear us talking about it, but you just couldn't see it yourself. I wasn't lying. There you go. It is Sandwraith. But, yeah, no, I'm excited to see that. Baltasar, of course, going to be the one playing it here for Willowkeeper. And, again, this is also one of the... we talked about this in the previous series, where I'm not saying Sandwraith is a very different hero. He's not like a freaking Geomancer by any means, or a Clanks for that matter, in terms of we just don't know how to play against him. But it's been a long time since Sandwraith has been played on the competitive tier level, and not your typical carry. So.
Oh, Parasite, he might be in trouble. No, he should be fine.
No.
Can't skirt across, but I mean, this does give some kind of information whether a Parasite's going to rotate into the enemy jungle, and it does look like he's actually running top. So obviously, it does give some kind of presence here for Tree, knowing where Parasite's most likely going to end up, and as a result, obviously they can switch up the lanes accordingly. But it looks like they are going to actually rotate the dual supports back into the top lane. So most likely, Parasite's not going to have an easy time here in the enemy jungle.
So, yeah, it is going to be a. Main support Pyro? No, he's been played ready to do. So, yeah, secondary support Pyromancer. He's going to the top lane to babysit that Sandwraith eventually. You see the lane setups elsewhere, though. Kzu on Magmus. Suicide Magmus coming out here. The aggressive jungling Parasite, it looks like, also going to be happening, and for good reason. Yeah, the blocks on the camp's happening, so not wanting to deal with that. Mickey apparently a little bit of lag spike here. Coming back in, though. Just get that figured out, and good to resume on with it. It's game number 2.
And look at actually the Pyromancer and Empath. They're already setting up to sort of start boxing out the Parasite. We actually saw this combination as well going against the Parasite in the last series we saw with Milestone Gaming versus Tree, where both the supports from Tree instantly started boxing out the Parasite. And as a result, the Parasite actually had to return into his own jungle. But as you can see, they've actually blocked Legion's jungle here. So if Slap does get boxed out, he's not going to have an easy time to get back into this game, but we'll have to see.
You see that move and over. At least Empath running over. How about that right there? These player-hero combinations, 0% win rate, but only 4 games to be fair, but still. So they're all playing, not heroes they play too often, basically. It's what it comes down to. And again, I always find that stat line kind of interesting when you really look into it, especially in cases like that. So they're playing a lot of heroes that actually they just haven't played a whole lot of at these top-tier competitive matches. Now, we do see Empath and Parasite going at it. Magmus kind of making his way over, making a point that Empath needs to be careful about this. But it's kind of mission accomplished, though, isn't it? Because now Parasite, he's spending some time being distracted. He's going to block the pull right there, though. So they're really just toying with one another in the end. But this camp off to the side is obviously going to be blocked, so instead we'll have to go over here. And not your most effective creep in the Antler Necromancer.
And this is blocked as well, so yeah, already Tree doing a very good job shutting down this Parasite. And like I said, I mean, Slap's obviously a great Parasite player, but he really does, snowball, as does any Parasite player. He does great with farm, and at the moment, he's just not finding it.
Well, I'm curious about this. He's literally not even gunning any creeps right now because he doesn't like them. Is this efficient, though? I'm confused that he's not even farming with what he has to work with. I know they're not the most ideal, but he's not going with the middle lane Ravener. In some trouble. Here comes Parasite. Doesn't even need him, though. Monkey King gets credit for the bloodlust kill. Got flinged around as a Monkey King does, and down goes Ravener. Again, obviously the physical presence earlier on, and Ravener feels the brunt of that. Well played by Sync Esports right there.
Yeah, definitely, and this is what I was talking about. Monkey King has such a dangerous potential, particularly with the Glacier as well. I think with Glacier it's perfect lane combination. Obviously, a lot of slow, a lot of immobilization, perfect for Monkey King to dish out a lot of his damage. And I think Ravenor was honestly wasn't expecting that kind of damage. I think we talked about before when we see some random heroes, a lot of teams aren't really expecting the kind of combination. As a result, actually, top lane Magnus might be falling here.
Yeah, going in for the kill, but nope, Magnus just out of range, going to be fine. How about the bottom lane? Kinesis in some trouble, looking to turn things, but not going to happen. Kinesis going to be fine. Middle lane, action all over the place. They're going back and forth at it. Pyromancer, he's also going to barely live. So all three lanes having some good action here, and definitely a fun start to what is game number 2, of course. In the end, back to the top lane again. Empath boxing out the Magnus. Not going to let him have a free time. So, but yeah, action in all three lanes. Definitely fun to watch as a result. And I'm sure once, Pyromancer hits this level, once Pyromancer and Ravenor hit level 3 especially, in fact, there you go with Pyromancer at least. Monkey King actually might need to be a little bit careful here, not to get comboed down. But what it has a lot of potential.
I mean, Monkey King does a lot of burst potential. We actually saw that with the Bloodlust. But the one issue he does have actually after the nerfs is he does have a lot of actually middle lane.
Yeah, they're going to initiate right there. That's exactly what I was talking about. Needs to be careful. Not careful enough. Or is he? Oh, the auto attack just barely hits him. Ravenor probably wasn't going to get him, but that auto attack from Pyromancer does the job in the end. So Mickey goes down and they get some revenge. What happened earlier?
But yeah, I was just going back to how Monkey King's obviously after the nerf, he does have a lot of mana issues. That is slightly negated obviously with the Glaciers here, with the Chilling Presence, obviously giving him a little bit more max mana and obviously increased mana regeneration. But yeah, you already saw actually he had no bottle charges, and as a result he was quite low on HP, and obviously Ravenor hit the ball lightning and then got the kill there. And actually this does actually increase Tree's lead by 600 gold, 600 experience. Top lane actually is going to be protected by Magnus, and so that's going to be a free bottle here for the middle lane on Monkey King. But actually the rune's actually going to spawn bottom, so Tree most likely taking that favour as well.
Yeah, so some movement coming out right there with Magnus back to the top side, and going to see what he can do up here. But Santa Wraith, as you would expect, having a very good time. Again, Balthazar especially, but it's something about him, and I know he's having a free farm as he usually does, so it shouldn't maybe be overlooking too much, but 29 and 14, I mean, that's got to be near perfect, as well as 14 denies on top of that. So he's really just on the ball as far as last hits and whatnot. As I say that, Magnus, again, a lot of pressure, but just really keeping him boxed out there.
Yeah, I don't think they can kill him. Like, Sandwave doesn't have the burst potential, so Magnus should be fine. The only issue he will have is obviously getting a lot of CS. He's only 114 GPM at the moment, and I talked about how if Zing do get behind, him and Parasite are the two players that really actually middle lane.
Yeah, Monkey King going in from the distance as he can't Pyromancer, but there's the return coming over over. Down goes Monkey King. The return damage unexpected by Mickey right there. But Ravenor, Pyromancer, like I said, they have a lot of potential. And Ravenor, the thing with him, too, level 2 Stormblades coming out. That's a lot of burst damage from that alone, too. So, again, this is not Ravenor, not a hero we see often nowadays. And I almost wonder if that's kind of catching Mickey off guard a little bit as far as his burst.
Yeah, definitely. But, I mean, going back to what I was going to say, though, I said, like, if Zing actually mid lane again.
You're not going to stop, man. They get the kill on a Glacius, and Monkey King can't do much to stop it. And what was a bloodlust kill in this lane's favor for Monkey King has now been 3 kills back to back for Willowkeeper.
Exactly, and I mean, this even further emphasizes my point, though, that if Zinc do start losing the laning phase, they're going to have quite a hard issue, because it's the Magnus, it's the Parasite, those are the two heroes that are really going to start, Zinc to get back into the game. But if you think about it, Magnus had a terrible start. He's 2v1 in the lane, he's only got 106 GPM, and Parasite having an even worse time in the jungle, only 120 GPM because of the great play carry from the supports, blocking both of his hard camps, not only in the Legion jungle, but also in the Hellborn jungle. So already Tree so far ahead, and it's only 6 minutes in, Breaky. I mean, this is a big deal, and I can't emphasize this enough.
That is absolutely a big deal. Dark Liddy also 30 and 2 creep farm, not doing too bad, but at the same time, Kinesis 33 and 8. So yeah, Boxy down here, even having the better very, very close, if anything, against this Dark Liddy. So all across the board, all 3 lanes in a sense, you could argue being won by Willowkeeper at this point. And I think that's where it's going to be a big thing for Zlap that needed to really step it up, because again, as you just mentioned there, he's having a horrible time as far as the start, especially as not playing the Parasite. We're not used to seeing that, but middle lane, here we go again. The burst on the Monkey King with the blazing, whatever it's called, the blazing strike, that's right. Anyways, Ravenor getting turned on those. Magnus comes in, and now Ravenor in a lot of trouble. Is he actually going to survive? This bottle charge is coming out. Barely survives. No, the freeze is used, and down he goes. So The Blazing Strike was used, figuring that would be enough burst for the kill, but I don't think Ravener was able to get the Storm Blades off, and now actually Pyromancer in some trouble. Monkey King diving further, and they get the double tap on Insania when it's all said and done. A double damage from Monkey King definitely helped with that whole situation right there.
That was so needed as well. Actually, Kinesis might be in trouble as well. Here comes Monkey King. He still has the DD. Kinesis has to get back. Oh dear, not a triple kill, please, no.
It very likely might be. Nope, he gets the, whatever, I'm blanking on the name. Stasis Smash and the Mask Control, turn around, Monkey King! He's gonna fall! The tower damage gets the kill! Oh no! We thought it might have been a hat trick for him. Boxy's like, nah, I got this.
I got this, bro. So much burst potential. And actually, there's a TP coming down from Pyromancer. Even Dark Lady might be in trouble as well, actually.
Back to the bottom lane. You saw they're pushing the top side, but yeah, they find Magnus, and down goes Magnus. The telekinetic lift, doing some work with that Stasis Smash. Dark Lady living life on the edge right there, as Pyromancer's still nearby, but here comes the Minotaur stun. Pyromancer has a combo ready to go, though, and Dark Lady still needs to be careful, I think, if she's not in range. There's a freeze coming out. Glacial downpour she's as well. She stops Glacial. She is trying to get the counter kill, at least gets the one kill, but now Kinesis hanging around a little bit too long. We got some crazy action here in game number 2. 6-5 hero kill overall. 6-5 hero kill lead overall for Willowkeeper, though, so far. But as I was saying, as that's happening, Samurai's pushing in the top lane here.
Yeah. That's actually a good trade. Okay, they did lose 2 heroes, but they almost rotated all 5 heroes of Zinc down to the bottom lane. Okay, they did get the 2 kills, but they still lost the Glaciers. And like you said, Samurai is happy to farm in the top lane, with Ravener farming the middle lane. Actually, top lane, Max might be in trouble. Here comes Invisible Ravener.
Yep, that's going to be an initiation to start, and Kizu has no clue. Empath running up. There's the stun initially now. Okay, there's the wall off. I was going to say, that might not have been the best execution, but it doesn't matter. The wall off, that's what they're baiting, really. Ball is perfect from Fusin, and down goes Keizu. So the movement is real, the action is real. We have 12 hero kills coming up 9 minutes in. Definitely action-packed here, and one again is game number 2. Blazing Strike is ready to go in 5 seconds for Pyromancer, with Ravener coming back in. Wonder if we're going to see something, but yeah, bottom lane indeed. Kinesis chasing after Dark Lady. Does he have mass control? He does. He knows that he has a chance to pick up a kill right here. Dark Lady knows that she's in trouble, but Parasite is coming over, so yeah, Boxy picking up on that and saying, all right, I've overstayed my welcome. He tries to fall back. Stasis Smash himself, mitigating damage, throws out the stun. He comes down, Port's coming in, and he's holding his ground, actually. Dark Lady now in trouble. There's the ultimate from Sandwraith. That is the power of Sandwraith right there once again. Beautiful timing on that Stasis Smash as they jumped in. Again, that's 50% damage reduction. And it buys time for his teammates to come in. Middle lane, Ravener and Monkey King again going at it, but no kill's going to happen from there. But yeah, that was the plan all along. I mean, he knew that Sandwraith was going to be able to port in.
Yeah, great play, honestly. And Tree just not giving up the aggression, exactly what they need to do. They had the foot in the game after a couple of good kills in the middle lane, and they're not sort of stopping. And this is exactly, I said, the weakness of Zinc here, because now they're behind 3,000 gold, 2,000 experience. How can they get back in this game? The only really way is through, say, the Monkey King, the Magmus, the Parasite, but they all have quite low GPM outside of the Monkey King. And he's not obviously, he's a big deal, but compared to, say, the Magmus and Parasite, they're the 2 heroes that really need to get involved, and they just don't have the items to really get involved yet to get this Zinc team back in the game. Actually, mid lane though.
Yeah, again, Ravener, but he turns around with the ball lighting on a Monkey King, not allowing him to combo the most efficiently. Dark going to come in with the Dark Blaze, though, down goes Ravener. Port was canceled, whoever that was, probably for good reason, as you do see 4 heroes are all of a sudden here for Sync Esports. So, Parasite, again, not the best start for his lap, but he's going to assist with the tower push right here. Looking to gain some levels. Good job using the illusion. Also tank the creep wave coming in and preventing a denied attempt, at least initially. But Kinesis is here. They might defend it. Stasis Smash comes out. Darkly in trouble. There's the telekinetic lift. No mass control used right there. That's those 3 seconds left, but going to do a little bit of damage, then fall back. But the tower is killed by Sync in their favor. Monkey King still hanging around with that said, and if he hangs around a little longer, he might be in some trouble. There's the wall off coming out. SSA can go right through it, though. Takes the stun, however. There's the Stasis Smash. Here comes the mass control. No, not even mass control. Not even necessary. And Boxy gets credit for the kill. Blazing Strike, more than enough damage. So the burst is real right here. Monkey King already has 4 deaths, man.
Yeah, but he's still got 300 GPM, so he's fighting very, very well. In the top lane, you didn't actually see, but big play count from Casey. Mans up against Battlestar, gets a solo kill. Exactly what he needs. That's 240 GPM now, closing in that portal key, and it looks like he's actually going to rush the portal key. Something that's most likely needed, actually, to get these kills happening. and to get Zinking back in the game. They're only 1,000 gold down, but still, they've got the late game, but they obviously need to sort of control the early and mid game, and with that portal key, that's exactly the item that they need to slowly come back into this game.
Now, I will say, when we saw the Sandwraith pick up, in fact, here he goes. He's going to ulti, he's going to go anywhere. He has Empath inside. He's going to go after Magnus. Do they have enough follow-up? He has a stun good to go. In fact, this could backfire. Wall comes off. Monkey King goes right over the ledge because the Desert's Curse buff was still on. So, yeah, a little scary. But I was actually just about to say, we were talking about the combo of those heroes. I don't know if we've necessarily seen them use it just yet. As I say that, they do. So that's good to see right there. But I will say, he doesn't actually bottom lane. It just doesn't stop. Ravener in trouble. Darkblade Silence doing a lot of work. Cannot let him get away. And he does fall in the end. So the chase is real. Parasite assisting. And Cypher's now 1-0-3. Again, the GPM still not the prettiest, but 233 gold per minute. At least working his way up what was just a horrendous start because of the circumstances. But he didn't go Energizer, though, on Baltazar playing the Sandwraith. And, you know, I do kind of wonder about that because especially this game's just been so chaotic and so aggressive. Now, they have changed around the Energizer to what it used to be when we saw Sandwraith, but still, as he's taking some good damage right here, but we'll be fine. I still think you could argue that. You think it would have been good here?
No, I agree with you, man. Like, the reason why he died top lane is because he was so sort of low HP and didn't have a lot of stats. Obviously, bottom lane, Boxy getting a solo kill onto Flensmeister, and the Suicides are just not giving up. It's a battle of the Suicides at the moment. I was talking before, Kato gets the solo kill onto Baltazar, and again, Boxy gets a solo kill onto Flensmeister here in the bottom lane. His GPM is 350 GPM. He's been absolutely smashing this game, but he might be in a little bit of trouble. Parasite is actually mid lane is the one to trouble. Yep,
Ravener ball lightning going to miss right there, but Monkey King not going to dare follow. He's done that several times this game. It's ended up backfiring, so probably for good reason right there as support was coming in. So decides to play it safe and falls back from there.
But yeah, going back to the Energizer though on Sandwraith, I definitely think he should have picked it up. Like I said before, Magnus did get the solo kill onto Sandwraith, and that's actually because he was on Agility Steam Boots. He only has 800 HP. So honestly, he does need some stat items, and I think the Energizer would be good, particularly if he's going to be starting to gank soon as well with the Empath. I think the Energizer would have been a perfect pickup. Also, one thing to note is I would like to see him farm on Strength Steam Boots, which he has been doing now, but before he was actually on Agility Steam Boots. Obviously, he only had 800 HP, and that was the reason why Magnus was able to get the kill on him. So, has to play a little bit more cautious in that case. Actually, bottom lane, there is some pressure being put on here by Parasite. Should be fun.
You see right there, Stasis Smash is going to say what's up and harass him a little bit, but not really the most harm done in the end. But yeah, Baltazar back to just farming in the jungle now. So it's one thing to kind of question not going the Energizer, but at this rate, probably not going to get it, honestly. But it's a question of what does he go from here? Does he go the Dawnbringer? At least a Frostburn and a Shrunken Head, obviously very key. Going to be interesting to see what options Baltazar goes for on the Sandwraith hero. So, but yeah, back to the bottom lane. As far as its counterpart on the other side being the Dark Lady. Dark Lady is starting to move up a little bit, 290 gold per minute, not past the 300 GPM mark just yet, but she does go Energizer. With that said, on top of the Steam Boots and the Ring of the Teacher even, I'm sure going to see an Abyssal Skull. Your usual follow-up at this point, so Flensmeister doing what he can right there with that farm. And, Dark Lady definitely usually kind of consider that anti-carry in a sense, too, with the Dark Blades and how if she can lock down a lot of other carries. We saw especially in the past of Magebane versus Dark Lady. Now she's considered good against it, but yeah, top lane, Sandwraith, Eruption going in, Magnus freeze assistance from Glacius, no chance for Baltazar right there coming out. So that's just, even on Strength Steam Boots, there was no chance for him to live. Good gank coming out from Sync. And now they're rotating over, actually. The gank squad is in essence right here. Empath, look at that lead coming out, but all at the last second. Just in time. Very close indeed.
But yeah, I mean, I said I didn't think Zinc could really make this gold lead back up, actually, even though actually, I didn't think they could make the gold lead back up because they didn't really have the items that they really need, for example, on the Parasite, on the Magnus, but they have definitely found it, particularly obviously with Mickey, and just overall, and so they have to actually come back into this game. They're actually leading now the golden experience, which is a little bit actually worrying here for Tree, because now obviously Monkey King got the Helm Black Legion, Dark Lady getting his farm on now as well. So the carry potential is definitely there for Zinc and Tree. They do need to get ahead. Obviously, they've got the Suicide of Kinesis. I mean, they have some late game potential of themselves as well, but I think Zinc would just about edge it in terms of the later stage of the game. So they do need to have the pressure keep going here.
Now, what do you think about Dark Lady? Usually a rune cleaved kind of hero, rune cleaver kind of hero even. because it helps, it synergizes with their ability so well on top of just being a solid farming melee item for carry heroes. Do you think a Rune Cleaver, even after like an Abyssal Skull, makes sense, or it's just not?
It's too late. It's too late. Like, if he was going to go for one, first of all, he would have to rush it, and second of all, he wouldn't be had the chance to have a Rune Cleaver because he was 1v1 anyway. If he was sat down here by the glaciers, then perhaps, but if he's 1v1, like he wouldn't have any lane presence, and getting Rune Cleaver now would be take 15-20 minutes, and by that time, like the game would almost have been decided by then. And when he also gets the Rune Cleaver, then he has to farm even more to get the items he needs. So the Rune Cleaver would be well too late, and if he does go for that, it would be a terrible item choice.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Flensmaster will pick it up.
Now, Mickey going his Helm of the Black Legion right here, so we've seen him do this before. Likes to get that bulkiness earlier on. Also, the Grave Locket on top of that. Again, Monkey King is one of those heroes where, sure, he has a lot of physical presence and his skills allow him to do that, but he will be spending a lot of mana at the same time to get those abilities off. Sandwraith Empath is inside here in the middle lane, but obviously that doesn't mean much in terms of he could be anywhere with that ultimate, so he's going to farm the middle lane for the time being, but the team is grouping up bottom.
So they could dive actually. TP is only on Parasite because TP on Glacius and Magnus is already down. So they could dive actually if they wanted to, but I mean obviously Sync are still in the area, so that might be the better decision that they didn't go for. Actually, Kinesis might be in trouble actually. Parasite and a Wild Hunter here, but should be fine and should get up safely.
Yeah. Portal Key already picked up by Kinesis, by the way. He got the Ghost Marches first. We talked about I believe even yesterday when we saw him play it, and he goes to here once again as by the Portal Key, so he did go Staff and the Master also yesterday in that game. Again, Alonia happened to go it as well. It was, it made a little bit more sense on Alonia perhaps, but I don't know, on Kinesis it's still like, was that the most efficient choice at that point? It is a great tool for assisting in that mass control damage, but...
Oh, bot lane.
There we go, Sandwraith. Dark Lady Ultimate is used. We can't see how effective that is, but that is damn effective, you can guarantee. Pyromancer goes down. Kinesis Portal King away. He's just trying to run away from the team right there. Gets a little bit of a shield as TPs are coming in, holding his ground. He has mana now. He's trying to turn things around. No, it's not going to happen. Sandwraith comes in. Sandwraith late to the party. He goes down as well. An Empath left alone. What were they thinking right there with that follow-up? That was just silly.
And Ravnar didn't have a TP, but look at the golden experience swing breaking. It was even the whole way through to 18 minutes, and then 5,000 of gold, 9,000 experience now for Zinc, and it's going to get even bigger with this T1 Tower bot.
Dark Lady Ultimate, again, it's another one of those kind of like the Vindicator Silence, where as a spectator, it's maybe hard to understand what that's really doing, but the Dark Lady Cover Darkness, that was used at the beginning of that fight, and you can guarantee that really screwed over Willowkeeper. That was a strong tool for leading them to victory. But yeah, also misplays definitely. The late port-ins, not having a TP on Ravnar are definitely hurting. So overall, though, the swing, as you mentioned, 7,000 gold lead, 9,000 experience lead. And what was looking good for Willowkeeper, having good chances early on and seeming like they could start developing into this later game stage, mid to late game stage even. But that's going to hurt. That's going to sting. And Sync feeling pretty good all of a sudden themselves, I'm sure. Puzzle Box is now going to be in the works for Zlapt after a pretty slow start for him. See, a slow start, but I mean, overall now he's 3-0-5 and 300 gold per minute. If we're talking about recovery, man, he has managed very well. And then even Monkey King, another 2,700 gold saved up. And now Flensmeister also has this farming tool in a sense with that with the Abyssal Skull pickup. So all of a sudden, a really good spot for Sync Esports here.
But I mean, there's still avenues for Tree to get back in this game. Obviously, we talked about the Sandwraith Empath combination, which kind of hasn't really had that much fruition, actually. Hasn't really had that much effect at all, actually. So I'd like to see that start picking that up now. They've got the Kinesis Portal Key. Ravnar has enough for Portal Key himself, and he does just go and buy it. And I think they definitely have the avenues to start ganking it and make these big team fights happen if they choose to. But they really do need to find their options and find their perfect timings here to get back into the game. I'd like to see maybe perhaps a gank here onto the Dark Lady bottom lane. Obviously, they've got the Sandwraith Empath combination. Just one more person like either the Raven or the Kinesis. And actually a Portal Key on Pyromancer, so he's had some good time. Bottom lane, actually, this could be it.
There's the Portal Key is coming out all over the place, and Dark Lady doesn't stand a chance.
Exactly.
So
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yep. That's their potential. And you mentioned the Portal Key also even coming on Pyromancer, so they basically have 4 heroes that could just, all 5 technically if Empath goes inside Sandwraith or whoever else. So really, any hero has potential to be like on top of you at any time, it feels like. So yeah, top lane though, Empath, he is going to live as actually, that was just an illusion right there, I believe, harassing him out. But the real Magnus is pushing in the top lane with Monkey King. in the meantime. But yeah, good potential showing right there, and that's the good sign for Willowkeeper still. But top tower goes down. Hellflower getting close to finish now for Monkey King. With all that said, so sure, kill on Dark Lady's big, but Monkey King still very scary as well to worry about here. So Puzzle Box is finished on Parasite, another big pickup. This also kind of goes back to Santa Wraith in terms of what he's going for. Again, he's still somewhat squishy. He's got the Firebrand straight up first with the Steam Boots, has the Mystic Vestments, and he just bought something. Blessed Orb. Okay, so he's going to be going straight into the Geometer's Bane here as far as his first choice.
Which is, makes sense, I guess. Obviously increases the damage that they can put out as well as obviously helping him from like the Glacius imprisonment and the Sludge Bomb lane.
Yeah, there we go. Stasis Smash, the perfect combo once again. Oh, that's got to be fun to play against, man. 3 heroes just portal key in out of nowhere, it seems like, and they get an easy kill. Wow. That burst.
Yeah, but I mean, this is exactly what they need to do. That they have the tools to get back into the game through ganking. Obviously, they've got the Soundwave Empath combination, the 3 heroes of portal keys, and they did it on Dark Lady. They've done it again on Magnus, and a few more kills like that, and perhaps a good team fight as well. And they're back in this game. Tree just needs to be careful of their positioning. As long as they're obviously keeping their foot on the gas, then there's no way that Zinc can do the same to them. It's always gank or be ganked in that sense. So just keep on doing what you're doing. They might even try and get a tier 1 tower in mid, actually. But Invisible Monkey King, this could spell bad here for
Yeah,
Tree.
and he just got the Hellfire recently, so this is a good timing for Sync possibly in terms of winning another big fight right here. We'll see what they're able to make do with it. Monkey King in the background. You see Parasite also here. They see Sand Wraith. Who has an ultimate, though, but yeah, here we go with the opening. Dark Lady cover, Darkness is out. Sandwraith ulti is used, however. There's a burst attempt on a Kinesis. He's going to survive initially. Dark Lady in the background with his side, so now Monkey King now jumps. Kinesis is going to fall in the end. Ball lightning stun from Ravener, but he's just trying to run away at this point. That's not going to happen. Again, that was all the cover of Darkness, though. They were just running that whole time because they can't see anywhere around them. And now this tower is also going to fall most likely, as all 5 of them are here.
Tier 2's down, and like I said, man, Invisible Monkey King, okay, yeah, they did see him in the end, but like you said, the Dark Lady ultimate did so much work. They just run around like headless chickens, and as a result, Zinc capitalized on the mistake, and now 10,000 gold, 11,000 experience, and it doesn't look like they're going to stop anytime soon. The late game potential is starting to show now as well. Dark Lady, 332 GPM, Monkey King nearly 500 GPM, picked up his Hellflower, doing a lot of work there as well. Kinesis got instantly bursted down, and Raven not having a big impact either because of the Hellflower, and the Sandwraith just isn't really offering too much, honestly. He's had a few ganks here and there, but in these team fights he doesn't have a strong head, so he can't really survive, and he doesn't have the damage potential either, and the Sandwraith Empath combination, yeah, it looked good on paper, but at the moment, Breaky, it just isn't really coming into effect.
Yeah, no, that's something right there. You know, Baltzar, the carry player, when he happens to be under 400 gold per minute, 0-11, and that right now is the case. But speaking of Baltzar, that Sandwraith pick again, it's like, I like the pick of the idea of it because we were talking about how they needed that carry. Oh, actually, Magnus channeling up the eruption, going to be going on. Kinesis right here, so support is nearby, but Kinesis goes down right out the back. Dark Lady in response, though, he is going to fall. Magnus now needs to get away, has a stun coming up in 4 seconds. Parasite joins the party as he runs, and he actually steals the electrical feedback right there, and he's chasing further. Stun from Magnus on Ravener. Ravener still low, maybe a leech from Parasite. No, he's not close enough. He still wants to dive, though. The Mauler's in there, and that could be deadly. Ball lightning hits. He's not going to port with it, though. He uses the portal key and gets the hell on out of there. So, not the most damage done in the end, although, I guess Dark Lady 4 Kinesis there, 1-for-1. But, as I was saying, though, I mean, Sandwraith, again, the idea that, especially with that empath, an aggressive team, get a hero, a carry hero that's going to be aggressive with you. Sandwraith is a great hero for that, has that potential, but I really feel like Baltzar has been spending a little bit too much time, arguably, sitting back and doing the farm thing, especially with his item middle, and actually he might be in some trouble right here, as there we go, Magnus stuns him, Monkey King going to join the party, watch him say put down, there's the flinging around, and the silence of the Hellflower comes out. He tries to split up with the Geometer's Bane, not going to work though, Jesuit's Curse, not going to happen, and he falls, so, yeah, Tree has no one but themselves to blame, I feel like, as far as their activity early on.
Exactly. And one thing to note, though, is actually an interesting stat posted by Quincy there as well. You saw, like we said, Balthazar 400 GPM is 0-11, whereas Flensmeister is actually 15 and 15 under 400 GPM. And this is what I was talking about. Tree, they focus so much on Balthazar having all the farm, and then carry them there. And without it, they're just nothing. The 0 and 11 compared to Zink. Okay, Flensmeister didn't have the easiest of lanes. 1v1 against the Kinesis. Kinesis wins that matchups 10 times out of 10. But it doesn't matter. They've got Mickey to carry them. They've got the Zlap to carry them, and Cage is doing fantastic as well. And let's admit, Zink playing great teamwork, whereas Tree, without Balthazar having incredible farm, they just doesn't feel like they're a team.
Yeah. Well, he's going to resurrect right here again. He has that full geometer Spain, but that's not necessarily the item of aggressive play. That's just more. I'm gonna sit back, farm some more. You guys keep doing your thing, and sure, they have that potential. At least had that potential. But as this game progresses, again, Monkey King, another 3,100 gold saved up. Dark Lady, she's starting to get pretty scary with that Firebrand purchase. I'll look at the GPM charts. It's Monkey King way up there. And then the next three heroes in line, Dark Lady, Magnus, and Parasite are nearly identical with their farm. All tied for second place, really, over anyone on the Hellborn team. In fact, everyone on the Hellborn team under 300 gold per minute now, including that Sand Wraith. So, Willowkeeper, really, I mean, they got maybe another fight in them at the most, but if that doesn't go their way at all, then this could be a victory for Sync Esports with the way things are looking right here. So, more farm continuing around the board for them. How about this? A Void Talisman picked up by Insania. Playing this main support Glacius. He manages to get 1,500 gold for that Void Talisman here. That's,
I mean, it's not a bad item pickup actually, seeing as obviously whenever he's going to get picked up, it's going to be from the Sand Wraith Empath combination, and he can't do anything about that. But obviously, this Void Talisman is going to most likely negate any sort of damage coming out from him, and should most likely save his life as well. So, in that sense, that's going to be a big deal. So I'm kind of surprised he could actually farm 1,500 gold, but a good item to have as well. So it will stop any sort of gains coming out from Sand Wraith.
Yeah. 28 minutes into this game right now. You see Raffner, his impact. 3, 5, and 4, 280 gold per minute. He has that portal key. It's definitely a good initiator in that sense, but obviously not really playing the carry role against Quincy. Speaking of stats, pointed out the stat, he's 0 and 4, and those were all carry Ravener games, so playing more of an initiator role this time around. But yeah, top lane and watching against Sand Wraith, he's in trouble. He's going to be locked out completely. The team support is coming in, but it's just going to get there way too late. In fact, the Ravener cuts in, but as soon as he does, silenced immediately. And he ends up falling too. And Willowkeeper, I don't know if they're going to give him much more of a go here, like I said earlier. In fact, Glacius survives the big burst of Kinesis. That's when you know things are not really going your way, when a Glacius survives that big burst initially. He does die in the end, sure, but 4-for-1 exchange, I think Sync's just fine with that. And
yeah, definitely. That's like a tier 2 tower now, so that's going to boost him up to about 20,000 gold. 25,000 experience, and it honestly just feels like they got that over a matter of like 5-10 minutes. Like it was kind of even, and then Zink just put on the pressure, and now they're pushing high ground as well. And Zink, and Tree, I don't know what they have left in him to sort of take this game to here. And there is the concede.
Yeah, it's talking it over, I'm sure, kind of figuring out what went wrong. Maybe let's plan for the next game here, but Zink is going to be taking the victory, and Foxy, I think he technically died right before there. Maybe not. No, he dies after. Anyways, Gazebo comes out, and that's a matter. Sync does take the game in the end, and thus they're up 2-1 now. Again, it's best out of 5, so at least one more game to come, and Willowkeeper will have to climb back and win 2 games in a row now to win the series, but one game at a time, we say. But yeah, Sync Esports looking very strong throughout that, and again, though, Willowkeeper, knowing how much of a chance they had, the slower play of Sand Wraith